This is the Garden of Gethsemane, just across the Kidron Valley from Jerusalem. This is where Jesus came the night before he was to be crucified. He had the Passover meal in Jerusalem with his disciples. They came out for a quiet place. He needed to retreat and compose himself for the biggest challenge any human being has ever faced that he would take on in Jerusalem. So he came out to the Garden of Gethsemane for a quiet place, a place with his disciples. He said to them, "Come, my soul is very troubled," he said to them in this garden. "Pray with me a while." And he withdrew from them and found a quiet place to pray. As the disciples slept, frankly, they fell asleep. Jesus was here, praying 3 times, asking for the Father's help. He prayed in Matthew's Gospel, we read, he says this, "Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me." The cup he's picturing is an Old Testament picture for the wrath or judgment of God. And Jesus, he's got it in his hands now. He must drink it to the dregs in Jerusalem, in crucifixion. And he prays, "Lord, if there's any other way." But then he says this, "But not my will, but your will be done." Jesus chose the cross right here in the Garden of Gethsemane. These olive trees, this is the Mount of Olives. Gethsemane means olive press. Jesus was being pressed under pressure like no other human beings. In fact, we read that the capillaries burst, leaving blood to ooze out of his sweat glands. Jesus sweat blood here in the Garden of Gethsemane as he made a choice. He chose the cross. He chose to love us even to death on a cross. And as Jesus made his choice here in this garden, Judas was making his choice to betray Jesus in the city. Soon there was the sound of soldiers. "Arise," Jesus said, "the time is at hand." Judas approached Jesus and kissed him on the cheek, a kiss of betrayal, signaling the moment when Jesus was arrested and marched back into Jerusalem, where he would face up to the full experience of crucifixion by the Romans, judgment from God, taking our sin on himself that we might experience salvation. In this garden, he took the cup of God's judgment so that he might put into our hands the cup of salvation. The Garden of Gethsemane, just outside Jerusalem.